Hey guys, this is Anupam. I'm back again. Uh, Nowadays, I think there is a heightened discussion and focus on security, especially how do we connect SAP to cloud and how do we secure all the information, both on the SAP side, in transition, as well as on the cloud. So that's a frequent question I get. So I thought I'll create this blog to go over some of those considerations. All right, let's get going. So, basically, when it comes to securing your information, the key principle which we follow is, from the TOGAF framework, there's application, authorization and user security, which we'll talk about in another session. But today we are going to talk about how we are securing the SAP application itself, what are the mechanisms we use on the infrastructure level, and the technical models and the mechanisms which we use, right? So first, what we are using for setting up security with SAP is on the SAP side itself. That's the gateway which we are provisioning, and that's something which should be set up by the system administrators so that they allow or disallow integration with other systems. So to take you through this, let's launch SAP GUI. So essentially what we use is the SM59 destination on SAP to kind of act as a gateway for external systems. Logging into SAP. And we first go on to SM59. Within SM59, if you're connecting to cloud, you probably will be working with the connection type G, which is HTTP connections to external servers. And I'll pick an example server, which is already set up. This is the Azure Lab. And here, the key parameter which we need to give is this target host. This is principally, if you look at it, that's the data lake which is being used. So that's the path you will get for your Azure cloud, right? The connection type is G amongst all the options which SAP provides. And then you can leave the path prefix here as blank, because the way USB for SAP is set up is you can give the path parameters dynamically so that different folders can have different set of security requirements. In terms of the logon and security, you can leave this and have the SSL enabled. Use the standard special options. When I do a connection test, it will give me a 400 here simply because this is making a GET call, whereas most of the Azure, they want more secure information. So that connection test failing is fine, right? So that's the SAP setup on SM59. The next step you want to do is the cloud setup, which is go to the cloud and select the folder which you want to use. Let's say CS Hub. And here we recommend using the SAS token setup. So SAS token is shared access signature. This is interesting, especially for system-to-system security configuration. where we can set up a set of keys, key 1 or key 2. It also allows me to use policies or directly give permissions where I can read, add, create, write. If we are going to send over data from SAP, we want to be able to write and create. You can leave the others as is. The other interesting part is you can set it up for expiry. So, usually they say 90 days should be the ideal to set up the key. So we'll go up to 15th of November. And you do get the option of HTTPS only, or you can set it up for HTTPS. And here you can specify the IP address. Usually you will want to allow specific IP addresses, let's say of your SAP system or whoever is going to be connecting to it. Now, when I say generate this SAS token, basically what it has gone ahead and done is generated this token, which will be used, and also created the whole URL. So, this happens to be a URL, and after that, the SAS token. So this can be used in your REST API calls to integrate data securely with SAP. Now, how do we use this information? So that's the cloud setup part. This key is important because that's what we are going to use. Now, how do we set up the data integration for specific use cases? So go to your Azure Data Factory. Within the Azure Data Factory, you'll be setting up a source or a sink, and usually, you'll be configuring the folder path on your Azure Data Lake. So, what we are mapping it to SAP data out, extract 08021 from ADF. And if you wanted to see this is extract from ADF. So this is where we are telling it to generate our output. This will be used, as you will see, and the other part is, that's the dynamic part where each of the calling programs, they will be able to specify where I want to send the data. This is my Azure destination, which we created on SM59 in SAP. And we are telling it this is SAS token authentication, and here's the SAS token which will be used. And the last part is, where do we want this data to be sent? So this is configurable at runtime, where we specify I want my SAP outputs to be created on this particular folder, and that's as you will see, this is the folder created on the Azure side to generate this data, right? So those are the steps for secure data interchange. Lastly, we are using SAS token simply because that provides probably the lowest complexity mechanism, which is time bound and pretty secure for REST interchange of information from SAP onto cloud. There are other mechanisms which can be used. What we like about SAS over other mechanisms is the time-bound feature, the granular control we get over the folder structure, as well as being able to simply generate these tokens. All right, I hope you find this useful. Thanks.